Greetings, groovy people! Welcome to the channel. I am the self-proclaimed Blue Dragon. I am the head of Blue Dragon Art, and traditionally on my channel, I talk about, anything that's art related, particularly related to the projects that I work on, namely my free Not Safe for Work webcomic, Dark Horse, but also other projects that I am a part of, or I will sometimes talk about process of art, and I also will talk about occasionally, like other people's comics and stuff that I like, or art channels, or what have you. Challenges, just kind of a little bit of everything. And this week, for the monthly Q&A for my $5 level patrons or higher, I got the question about what a typical day looks like for me. I do art full-time, and I'm clearly not the breadwinner of the household. I really don't get paid for what I do, but I do a lot of things to help keep our costs down and also to work on a ton of projects. So I'm constantly busy. It's not like I'm not doing anything. I am constantly, under a deluge of work. So this video is just kind of going to show you a typical quote-unquote day in the life. Every day is a little bit different, though. I kind of start off the same, and then what I do during the day kind of switches throughout the week. So every morning, I wake up naturally between 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock, 9:40. Usually I'm up at 8:44, 8:44 specifically, not 8:45, 8:44. I don't know. I don't know why, that's just the time. But I will sometimes wake up earlier, and occasionally I will wake up later. But usually during the week, my partner will already have made coffee because he wakes up before me. He's got morning calls that he's got to be on, and then he'll drive into the office, so he'll make enough coffee for the two of us. But on the weekends, I will usually make the coffee because I'm always up before him since he wakes up during the week. I gotta stop before I break something. And then typically I will, before I really get the day started, I will sit down and check my emails, check messages, notifications, DMs, anything of that nature, just to make sure that I'm not missing anything. And, I'm kind of like lulling myself awake. And at that point, usually I will either do one of two things. Once I'm more awake, I will either end up taking the doggos out. Oh, what's going on? What do you think is going on? What do you think is going on?
Jack doesn't know, but he knows that.
Julius, what do you think is going on? What do you think? Do you guys want to go for walkies? Oh my god, they're so cute. Okay, let's go ahead and get ready. Let's get ready. Or I will hop into the shower. Breakfast usually I don't really eat breakfast right in the morning. I usually wait a little bit. It's really more of a brunch unless I'm really hungry, but usually I'm not. I will usually kind of hold off eating and making breakfast till around like 10:44, almost lunchtime. I do weekly meal plans, and there's going to be a good portion of this video that's kind of walking you through like literally a typical day or week, I should say, because every week I will plan what we're going to be eating from around Thursday to Wednesday of the following week. So I don't like to have to cook a breakfast every single day because I am so busy. And I cook a lot of our stuff from scratch. We do buy things, like pre-made mock meats, and I will buy seitan sometimes. I buy tofu. I can make tofu, but making tofu, it is a monumental pain in the ass, because it's one of those things where when you're boiling the soy milk, if you take your eyes off that for like literally, and I'm not using literally, as like a hyperbole, literally, if you take your eye off boiling soy milk for 1 second, you can look away, glance back at your pot, and that shit will have foamed up and gotten all over your stove. Ask me how I know. So usually I will, I try to buy like oat milk, or my partner doesn't really do soy. I mean, he does, he will, but he's got like thyroid issues, not that anybody wants to know, but we don't know if soy bothers that or not, but I'd rather just not dick with it, If he says it bothers him, and soy's in fucking everything you buy anyway. Soy's a lot like milk. They put soy in like everything, and whereas I don't give a shit, I love soy. I consume all the soy products. I even tried natto for the first time, and I actually liked it. That's like fermented soybeans, like slimy. It's real slimy and weird, but I liked it. I actually didn't mind it. But he tries to avoid it, so yeah, like I make a lot of our stuff, but there are like some things that are just, I know how to make, I can make, but unless I really am feeling guilty about plastic waste, I usually will not make my own soy milk and shit like that. But yeah, like, so once I've taken the shower, once I've had brekkie, usually I will be working on art before I have breakfast. So it'll be sketching comic pages, inking comic pages, toning. When I've got my shit together, I like to sketch pages in a group, and then I like to have like an inking day, and then I like to have a screen tone day. That's when I have my shit together and I've got a buffer and I'm ahead of the game. When I don't have my shit together for like my comic work that I'm doing, such as, I got really behind in October because I had a ton of projects and I hadn't had a chance to really build my buffer because the Comic Theory Zine came out essentially back to back. We're on break now. I'm happy. I love working on that project, but holy shit, I know next year to build my buffer of Dark Horse way far out in advance before Comic Theory Zine starts doing anything, because holy shit, I got so behind. But like what I ended up doing is in a day I would sketch, ink, screen tone, do all of it in one fucking day when I don't have my shit together. So, but normally I don't like to be stressed. I can work for fucking hours and hours. I mean, I've been working on this goddamn comic since since high school, more so in college, but like it's been an idea that I've had since high school. So it's not that I can't work on a project, it's just I really hate being rushed, and I kind of feel like that's what happened last month. I was so rushed on everything, but whereas some of my pages kind of suffered. I think the zine turned out really nice anyway, so sometimes I had to like kind of focus my efforts on what I think, it's dividing up your efforts on what you think is the most important. And since to me, Comic Fury Zine was a little more important than my own art because other people's reputations are at stake. When it's my own thing, I could give a shit. But when other people are involved, I try to be a little more polished and professional. But yeah, that's kind of how a day will go. And that will take me up until sometimes nearly 6 o'clock at night. In between, I'll usually have lunch anytime between like 11 and 12 or 1, or sometimes I'm eating it as late as 2 o'clock. And then I'll get right back to work, taking care of the dogs in between this. Sometimes I'll take them for walkies. Usually we wait for walkies for the evening. But I'll get back to work, and then my partner will get home sometime after 6 o'clock because he does not work in Portland. He works in a different town, which is a little further away, and that's a little frustrating. but it's not his fault. He has absolutely no control over this. I'm not bitching about him. But I will usually try to have dinner ready because he's hungry. Obviously, I do it for him, but also because I'm usually hungry by the time he gets home. It all just kind of depends. So that's like an overview of what the day looks like, but more specifically, in between working on art, I stagger, like I was talking earlier how I do like weekly meal plans, and I will stagger usually when I make the meals. Breakfast can be something as simple as like a bread loaf. I could make a loaf of bread. I made beer bread earlier this week. I didn't really like it. I'm not a big fan of hops. I can't do hops or beer. I'm not a big beer fan. But like I might make a loaf of bread, or I might make banana bread, or I might make like a lemon raspberry loaf or something like that. A lot of times I will also like bake biscuits. I like to make the biscuit recipe that is in Vegan Comfort Classics. That one almost always turns out perfectly. That's by Lauren Toyota. There's a couple like cookbooks that I really like, aside from having my own cookbook with my own recipes that I've come up with, either with mom's help or with my own help, things that I've kind of come up with. But yeah, Vegan Comfort Classics, Issa Does It helped me become vegan. Let me tell you, that bitch, I love her. And when I say bitch, I mean that like endearingly. I love her. Post-punk kitchen, but holy shit, her recipes are amazing. They're easy, they're fast, they're usually pretty gosh darn cheap. I also really like when I have time to cook, I have been trying to make everything in the Afro Vegan. That's Terry Bryant. His cookbook is fucking phenomenal, but let me tell you, you gotta have time to make his recipes because he will walk you through everything from the spice mixes, hand grinding them or using a grinder like a, some kind of blender, NutriBullet thingamabobby, whatever, onto the sauces. Everything in his cookbook is made from scratch, and fuck, is it worth it? Yes it is. But is it time consuming? Yes. Yes it is. He's like a professional level chef. And another one I do like is the Vegan 101, which is by Gaz Oakley. He's a Welsh dude. He's like classically trained. Great recipes. The food is it's always great. Everything in his cookbook is fucking delicious. I do recommend it, but just make sure you're reading the instructions and paying close attention to shit. So I'll have that staggered out throughout the week. One day I might make breakfast and lunch, or I might skip, I'll make breakfast and lunch and have things kind of left over from the previous week, or we have what's called the pizza budget, which is usually like just junk food to tide us over until I get the rest of the weekly meal plan made. And then when, the next day I'll do like lunch, or if I did the breakfast and lunch on one day, then the next day I will be cooking dinner. And so let's go ahead and jump into some of these. One recipe that I made that was actually my mom's that I tailored for my own vegan diet. I'm making dinner now. I'm getting ready to make dinner. And as I have mentioned earlier, I'm sure in this video, I do a weekly meal plan and I kind of stagger when I cook things. So I did some cooking on the weekend. I made biscuits and my tofu egg, and I bought some fake cheese. And then I also had time to do make the seitan, for the quote-unquote Philly cheesesteak. So now I'm getting ready to make dinner, and this is actually gonna be partly my mom's recipe for chicken pot pie, but I'm using a recipe that I watched on this channel called Connie's Rawsome Kitchen or something like that. She gets really involved with a lot of her meals. They're all fan-fucking-tastic, but I don't always have time for it. But this pulled chickon, which is fake chicken, it's just seitan. She got this recipe from someone, and I will link her video down in the description as well as the blog for anyone who is interested. But this is how I have to do my week. Like, I've been working all day. I've been doing screen tones. I did inking, I let it dry, screen tones, worked on a video, just kind of around everywhere. I'm probably gonna work late tonight just because I have the Halloween exchange due tomorrow. This video is not coming out until probably November, but I'm getting ready now. I'm filming because I'm cooking now, so I'm like, why the fuck not? I'll just pull the camera out and we'll get going on that. So I'm not gonna give you like the measurements or anything, but this is my like cookbook from high school. I started this back in, actually before high school. Oh yeah, no, I was in high school by this point. I do not live there any longer. But yeah, I just have been writing down recipes. I've been vegetarian since pescatarian since 1996. I still ate fish for a while, but I finally quit eating fish. I'd been vegetarian for years, just years. And finally I went vegan. So I've updated all my recipes in this cookbook, but I just keep my own recipe book. I also buy a lot of other cookbooks too. But yeah, this is all going to be time-lapse just because it's not a cooking video. I just wanted to show you what I do. Battery died, so the only thing you miss out on is me grilling the seitan up. I like to cook that and brown it a little bit, mix it in with the veggies. I also forgot to make the roux, which is really stupid, but oh well, I was multitasking. And then I made a pie crust, put it in the fridge, rolled it out, really interesting. And leftover pie crust means my grandma's pinwheels. Oh my god, they're so good. They're like cinnamon rolls, but they're not like yeasted dough. It's just like pie crust with cinnamon and sugar, but they're so delicious. And since everything was getting done at different times and we were hungry, we ate our salad and the grilled zucchini before the pie was pulled out of the oven. So yeah, here's the plate where the pie should be, and there. Art. This is art. My videos are awful. They are really, it's almost like the Dada of YouTube videos sometimes. And I'm not really gonna show footage of this because y'all know how this goes, but I have a laundry day. It used to be Monday, but now it's usually Friday. Taking care of clothes, making sure things are put away. I also do the dishes. Usually my partner will put away, well, it is assigned to my partner to put the dishes away. However, because he is at work for so long, if he doesn't get around to it, I usually will put them away. But I mean, yeah, just things that everybody does. I hand wash dishes. I do not use our dishwasher. Like most of the places we've lived at, the dishwasher is non-functional anyway. I don't like to use the dishwasher because whereas I'm sure newer dishwashers are more efficient with water, like just about everywhere I've lived, the dishwashers are old and therefore not quite as efficient. They usually don't get the dishes clean. I don't care what people say. I've had so many people try to tell me, oh, the dishwasher is just as efficient as hand washing dishes. And yet, in my experience, because a lot of times they are older dishwashers that I, live with, I have to pre-wash and then wash the dishes. And I don't see how that's saving water. I'm so sorry. I can, wash the dishes and use the water just for rinse. I try not to, just leave the water going. But it's you cannot tell me that using the dishwasher is more efficient when I have to pre-wash, because even in like at our apartment when we first moved to Oregon, we did have a newer dishwasher, but guess what? I still had to pre-wash dishes. So at this point, I don't know what the fuck to tell everyone. I don't know what the issue is, but it's not like we leave dishes sitting around. For the longest time, we only had 4 plates, so we had to wash our plates. So I don't care. You can talk to me until you're blue in the face. I will probably still be hand washing dishes until the day I die, because every time I use a dishwasher, I not only have to hand wash the dishes, but I also have to put them in the machine and wash them. The one thing I do like about dishwashers is I do like how they will dry quicker, but with our older dishwasher and our current apartment, you can't just dry the dishes. You have to do the entire cycle, and it's broken, and I don't care to bother the land people to get it fixed, because as I've just spent 2 minutes saying, I prefer to hand wash my dishes anyway. And we finally have a double sink. This is the first time since I lived in my grandma's trailer that I have a double sink. So I take advantage of the double sink. I absolutely love it. So yeah, okay, wow. I just got stupidly passionate about doing dishes. What the fuck is wrong? I'm so sorry, you guys. But yeah, and then in addition to that kind of stuff that everybody has to do, I'm responsible for doing most of the grocery shopping. I try to take the bus, so that takes up a good amount of time. I like to take the bus. It's relaxing. I don't have to think other than like when I get this, when I need to get off the stop. And because I do art, right, I'm sitting a lot of the time. Like, I've been trying to stand at one of my computers more, but I don't have like a standing desk. But I'm contemplating maybe next year upgrading to like a standing desk because my wrists start to hurt and I get kind of tired of sitting. But yeah, I like to take the bus because I have to physically walk. Or like we will walk to the grocery store. Just last night, I wanted some lemons and limes for like a whiskey sour, and we didn't have any in the house, so we walked down to like the grocery store and then walked back. I prefer to like walk when I can, just because it's better. Since I'm sitting all day, I get so gosh darn tired of sitting, and yeah, so I don't usually, like, I know that I like don't go to a full-time job anymore. My full-time job is here where I'm at all the time, but I don't understand boredom. And this is not me trying to be like, up in my high tower, but there is always something to do. I watch, I'll settle down in the evenings and I watch YouTube during the day, or like I'll have videos and channels and stuff on in the background. I really have been trying to like cut back on that a bit though, because I've realized that on my attention span, it's really affecting me. But like, I will simmer down in the evenings and sit down and watch some TV, Netflix. We did get Netflix again for a while. We'll keep that, or YouTube, or I'll play video games. But I always have something to do. Like if I'm not reading or if I'm not watching something, I'm doing something with my hands, or I'm working, or I'm just sitting listening to records with my partner. There is always something to do. So like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't think I have actually been bored for years. Like, occasionally, like even at work, everywhere I've worked, I've always had to do, there's always too much work and not enough people, right? But like, yeah, it's been years since I've experienced the feeling of boredom, because there is always something to do. So yeah, I guess that's kind of a tangent, but I don't know. What I'd like to know, if anyone made it to the end of this video. If anyone made it to the end of this video, let me know what a day in your life is like. I assume that most people who watch this have like full-time jobs, or maybe several part-time jobs, because we live in America. I'm such a cynical asshole. I'm so sorry. But yeah, what are things like for y'all? Let me know down in the comments. And thank you for watching this video. It's probably boring. It's very blurry. I'm sorry for that. I tried to use a real camera for a part of this, but the rest of it was on my cell phone, and my cell phone is constantly out of space. I need to get rid of shit. I need to get rid of videos and stuff, but thank you for watching. Peace and love. Fare you well, and keep on trucking.